I want to talk today about one of the most common problems with beginning guitar. That is switching from chord to chord. My philosophy is clear. Learn chords fast and learn them early. Let's start with the assumption that you know a couple of chords. Let's say that you know E minor and you know the basic G chord. I'm going to add one chord to that, and that is a chord that can be called a couple things. It's really a D with an F sharp and a bass, but we're just going to hold one string down. So you could, and I've seen it written this way, you could call it a G with an F sharp and a bass. It's got kind of a strange sound to it until you hear it in context. We're going to do E minor, G, that G with an F sharp and a bass, and E minor again. And we're not going to worry about the top strings, we're just going to play the bottom 4 strings. For E minor, you're going to play 6, 5, 4, and 3. For G, you're going to play 6, 5, 4, and 3. And for our G with F sharp and a bass, you guessed it, 6, 5, 4, 3. The chord forms themselves are fairly simple. You'd be surprised how hard it is for beginners to go from E minor to this simple G chord. So let's talk about that. There is one common finger between E minor and G. And notice that I'm playing E minor with my first and second fingers, not my second and third fingers. The common finger is your first finger. It stays on the second fret. However, that finger does not stay in the exact same location. When you move to the G, notice that the finger slips up. Let's go back to E minor. When I go to G, notice how far my first finger moves forward. You hear the noise in between the chords. That can be taken care of once you get the basic movement down. And watch how I do take care of that noise. I don't let my finger slide up like you're going to do at first. I actually hop to that chord. But don't expect that to happen until you are disciplined enough to keep that first finger down. Like this, slide into your next chord, G. Then when you go to that G chord with the F sharp and a bass, you let go and move your first finger to string 6, fret 2. And then you go back to E minor. By moving this first finger down one string to the 5th string and adding your second finger back on the 2nd fret 4th string. Now back. There's one other way you can silence the strings as you move from E minor to G. You can hear that noise there. What I'm going to do, strike E minor and mute the strings right here with my right hand. Then all of that sound in between the chords is no longer there. Now I've been using finger style for most of this. Let's go to pick style. Notice that I muted with the side of my hand. Let's do that with single strums. I just let my hand come down on the strings in between the chords. If you're not used to switching chords, you're going to have to go very slow on it. Guarantee if you do this exercise for 2 or 3 days, you're going to be able to switch these chords. You can also break these chords up. I'm using my thumb, index, middle, and ring finger. Now switch, switch, then you switch again. In the following exercise, I'll show you how to tighten up your switches. What you're going to do is count a rhythm. You're going to count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 over and over again. Play the E minor chord, count 4, 3, 4, then you give yourself 4 seconds to move to the next chord, which is G, 2, 3, 4. Give yourself another 4 seconds to put this first finger on the 6th string 2nd fret. Then you have the G with the F sharp, 4, back to E minor for 4. That's quite a bit of time. You should be able to get that first stage of the exercise done quickly. The next thing to do is to give yourself 3 seconds. 2, 3, switch, switch, 3, 1, 2, 3, switch, switch, 3, 1, 2, 3, switch, E minor, then you're back. You continue until it gets down to 2 seconds. 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, and then 1 second. Rest, rest. By that time, you should be able to move on your own. You'll be surprised how quick that exercise works. You have to be dedicated. If you're not dedicated to making this happen, or if you're not concentrating while you're playing, it's going to be a rough road. Just take your time. There's no rush. You will get it with some work. Finally, I'm going to play 5 strings, and I'm going to do it with a pick. I'm going to arpeggiate these chords, meaning I'm going to play them one note at a time. I'm going to let the notes ring throughout. There are many ways to play that little exercise once you get that together. I'll be back next time with the most dreaded of all chord switchings. That's a G to a C.